Watching the Super Bowl is always a great time for many reasons. I'm the type who enjoys watching the game itself, but even if the game is boring like this year's was to some degree, or like the Broncos-Seahawks matchup 2 years ago, Super Bowl Sunday is still a lot of fun. You cook up fatty food, you drink a bunch of beers, everyone laughs at the year's most creative advertisements, there is something for everyone. And even if football's not for you, you've got the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet, you've got the Kitten Bowl on Hallmark, and of course, this year was a big year for America's fastest growing hobby, getting recreationally offended on Twitter. Now, this year's Super Bowl was diverse not only in its entertainment selection, but in its over-the-top insistence that viewership, quote, believe in love, whatever that means. As though there was a bunch of us sitting around watching the Super Bowl disbelieving in love.
Not me.
It was an ambiguous progressive message about as useful as saying, eat food, breathe air, take a later, but I digress. As I was watching the game with friends, we were joking about all the different ways in which the internet's victim hobbyists are gonna find a way to be offended despite the clear efforts of the NFL and its sponsors to be inclusive beyond any reasonable doubt. We joked about people sitting around watching the ads like,
Friends. Oh, how homophobic.
We built our factories here because of a huge natural resource, American workers.
How xenophobic.
Nothing brings America together like Bud Light.
How good beer phobic.
but what was a joke on my couch was completely sincere on others. Yes, some people enjoy Super Bowl prop bets, some people enjoy Super Bowl drinking games, and if you're a victim hobbyist social justice warrior, your choice for a fun Super Bowl side game is getting offended by ads and tweeting about it. This year's undisputed national champion of that game is NARAL, the National Abortion Rights Action League. NARAL announced 2 minutes before kickoff they'd be live tweeting the commercials, encouraging others to help them tell sexist Super Bowl advertisers that they are hashtag not buying it. That's right, before a single advertisement had even aired, these people had already determined there were sexist ones. In stretches much farther than Cam Newton's reach for a fumble, NARAL called out the Hyundai ad featuring Kevin Hart as an overprotective dad for, quote, taking away the daughter's autonomy and stalking her on a date. NARAL called out the Snickers ad with William Dafoe in a Marilyn Monroe throwback for its transphobic implication that women are okay with being objectified as long as they have snacks. And most bizarrely, NARAL called out the Doritos ad with the expecting mom and dad and the baby who flies out of the womb after the chips for, quote, using the anti-choice tactic of humanizing fetuses and sexist tropes of dads as clueless and moms as uptight. Humanizing fetuses. Humanizing fetal humans. Why not call out the ad for doctorizing physicians? Why not call out the ad for snackifying chips? I understand the point at which we extend legal personhood to the unborn is a contentious issue, but how are fetuses, especially late-term, fully developed fetuses, by the way, not human? This dude right here injected human DNA into this human chick right here, inside of whom human genes got mashed together to create new human life. It was not a horse. It was not a sex bot. And no, History Channel, it was not an alien. It was hot human on human action. But what am I doing anyway? Doritos is humanizing the inhuman, and I am rationalizing the irrational. I am treating the wildly insincere as though it is sincere. And how do I know it's insincere? Because it's a game, remember? It's a hobby. Being recreationally offended is a pastime. It is not sincere discourse. Why else would these people watch the Super Bowl on CBS while simultaneously calling out CBS for its sexist pro-rape agenda? As one NARAL hashtag not buying it supporter tweeted, if you don't like hashtag not buying it, simply stop following it. No one is forcing you. Or do you just look for chances to be snarky? Accordingly, ma'am, if you don't like the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl advertising, simply stop watching it. No one is forcing you. Or do you just look for chances to be offended? And the answer is, of course you do, because it's your hobby. In the same way some people jump off the couch for a touchdown, you jump off the couch for perceived sexism. In the same way the losing team and its fans make excuses in the face of defeat, you blame the patriarchy when you're made to look silly. In the same way fans of both teams talk trash before the game with certainty that their team will win, you make claims with certainty that the game's advertising will be sexist. The difference there is after the game, only one side is right. Only those talking trash on behalf of the Broncos get to enjoy the glory, while the Panthers trash talkers have to sulk and own up to their mistake. Until you victim hobbyists can do the same, let the game play out, and when the confetti flies against your favor, admit that you're wrong, I'm not taking you seriously. I'm not considering you good sports. I am #not buying it. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate the thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is @skag_3. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live stream. That is linked in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.